Welcome back here to the channel. I am your boy the HOD of the PSP. Like, share, comment on the video wherever you're gonna get it, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Enable notifications always on to receive the updates from these match recaps and all the episodes of the podcast and all the content on the channel. Of course, follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter. The links in the description and the names on the screen, all of that, and join us for always more. We're coming to you after the game between Man City and Arsenal, and I don't think it needs a lot of retelling. The score is 5-0. It went exactly as people predicted it to be, and it went exactly as Man City wanted it. And almost everybody expected it to be a drubbing, and it was. And I think by halfway through the first half, we all know how it's going to go, and we all knew that City are going to dominate and they're going to batter Arsenal. I mean, the starting lineup already for Arteta was like too defensive. I mean, 5 at the back, starting with Sitko Kolasinac and Chambers in the back, and Rob Holding in the back, and Cedric Suarez and Kieran Tierney. I mean, really, by 25 minutes, it was a training session. It was a training drill for Arsenal. Edison was mucking around. The defenders were mucking around. I don't think anything would matter in this game because the result tells it as it is. It was 5-0. It was City dominating. Arsenal were on the back foot. The red card is not the excuse. I know people would try to lean on the red card as an excuse, but by the time Xhaka was sent off for Arsenal in the 36 minutes or so, they were 2-0 down and they were already in the mud. Like, Arsenal were dominated right after the first goal. I mean, they had a first 5 minutes, a glimpse of goodness from them. No real chances, but a glimpse of good play from Arsenal, and then City just took the game by the scruff of the neck and just dominated completely, and the game was never the same since. Of course, the opening scoring goal coming in from Gundogan in the 7th minute, and then just 15 minutes in, Gabriel Jesus made it 2 for a goal that I strongly doubt that there was a foul on Chambers by Laporte. It's pretty clear if you look at it that Laporte just punched him in the face quite blatantly in front of the referee's eyes, and the referee Mike Dean didn't really, Martin Atkinson, turned a blind eye towards that incident. But anyway, I don't think that's an excuse. I don't think the red card is an excuse. Really, that's just what's about going to happen. In the second half, City had 91% possession at a certain point, which is, if it's not telling of how bad Arsenal is, I don't know what it is. Like, at a certain point of the game, those winning probabilities kind of percentages were up, and there's someone who decided that there's 1% chance that Arsenal could win when they were like 3-0 down at the end of the first half. It was crazy. Of course, I didn't mention Jesus had another goal before the end of the first half. Of course, added the third. The second goal scored by Ferran Torres, actually, who returned to score the 5th, and before that, Rodri scored the 4th goal. I mean, that is considering that there was no De Bruyne, and Mahrez was on the bench starting, and also keeping Sterling on the bench for the start, starting with Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish. I mean, it is crazy. It's crazy how deep the squad of City is, even if they didn't bring Cristiano Ronaldo or Harry Kane and were not successful at both of these occasions. I think this was quite a good statement win for Man City, and quite a good assessment and testimonial of how they don't need a striker, I would assume, but definitely how strong they are as a squad without Harry Kane or Cristiano Ronaldo, which they couldn't boast to the club. As far as Arsenal are concerned, I don't really think there's a lot that could be said about them. I mean, as much as you want to rag on how bad they play, I mean, they still miss a couple of players themselves as well. The squad is not full completely. They have players going ruled out with injury. Aubameyang himself is not fit 100%. And, really thinking about it, I mean, it's just a sad picture. I mean, Arsenal fans were celebrating the 4th goal by Rodri. If that doesn't tell you how bad things are, I don't know what could tell you. Arteta looked completely frustrated, all sorts of desperate at the end of the game. And, I'm sure the clapping that the Arsenal fans did at the end was pretty sarcastic, because that doesn't reflect how they think of their players. I'm sure they're furious with how the game went. They predicted it, they expected it, I'm sure of that, but definitely still shocks you, still affects your emotions when you watch it as a fan and watch it unfold live on air. Arsenal dominated, no two ways about it. They just need to go forward. I think if that is not your sign that the season is going to be I mean, one for the bin for Arsenal, and one that they should forget pretty soon and turn around pretty soon. I don't think how you could understand it otherwise. As for City, 3 games, 2 wins, and the 2 wins were pretty emphatic as well. 10 goals in 2 games. Grealish is getting into the mood and in the mood of the scoring and assisting and all of that, and even started to dive less to draw fouls. I mean, I don't know if that's a testament for him or more for Arsenal being really bad and not even caring about defending enough. It was bad to watch for the Arsenal fans. It was bad to watch for anyone who's sort of sympathises with Arsenal a little bit. I don't, to be honest. I didn't feel any compassion towards them, because that's how they brought themselves into it. And here's a tip of information that you might not know, an information that probably will shock you. Arsenal are the highest spenders in the Premier League in this window. If you didn't believe it, they brought Ben White for like 50-something million and Lukonga for whatever number it is. It's ridiculous, and brought Odegaard back for like 25 million. It's unbelievable how things are going for Arsenal, considering they spent like that, they spend money like that. 3 matches, no goals, and it's getting worse each time. 2 goals against Brentford in a whole game, then 2 goals against Chelsea in one half, and then 5 goals against City in the whole game, including 3 in the first half. Could it get worse for Arsenal? Could it get really any more gloom and doom for Arsenal? I don't know. If Arteta isn't sacked in the next 24 hours, I'd be surprised. And again, it just doesn't need retelling. The game is just what it is, 5-0. From the scoreline, I think you can know how the game went, and it doesn't need a lot of explaining, really. That's it for this game. I was with HOD of the PSP. Like, share, comment on the YouTube version of the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, enable notifications to receive the updates from these match recaps and all the content. Follow us on social media, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.